Hello and welcome back to Factorio. We have finished all the research we were currently doing, but I don't think I want to do any more research now until I've sort of caught up. Because research is going to use up iron and stuff and produce pollution. I think I want to sort of like... I don't want the research queue to get too far ahead of our actual technology. Right, so, as I was saying at the end of the last episode, I need to get copper smelting in place in a very similar way that I've got this. Luckily, I can do that relatively easily. I go Control C, we get our copy buffer out. Essentially want of that power pole. I don't want that power pole. I want all of that, however. And we are going to put this down over here. Squeak through, let us keep going in a straight line through the trees. It will. I don't want to be covering any of copper. Looking at the mini-map, seeing where my yellow dot is and where the copper goes to. So I think if we got this place, that would be good for the copper. Now, it might be worth making the nanobot stuff manually. Okay, so the nanometer, I need some steel and copper. And for the construction robots, it's also just steel and copper. I don't know why I ran down there, because steel is over here now. I'd forgotten about the fact that we had automated it. I'm in there, and I can run along the belt. Grab all of the steel. Copper is still in the manual stuff. I've got plenty of coal I can feed it. We're going to see how much of this we can do. Copper. Okay, we need one nano emitter. It essentially acts as a gun and goes here. And we're going to need a construction robot. See if we can make 20. We'll need more furnaces. Inverters. Power poles. Transport belt. Okay, that nano emitter takes a while. And now the nanobots are going to construct in a square around me. So I want it to start from the bottom end and head up. I don't actually have any of the ammo yet. Are they? Little capsules. Oh, okay, they're automatically going down there by the thing. I can't turn it off. The tab key. If I had more than one gun, I'd be able to. But if I... So now that's on. If I approach from down here... There we go. Nanobots, they will place stuff. They will also remove the wood. Oh, so that's a little bit. Move the gun to there. That will effectively turn it off. We're going to chop our way up the middle. I can put the output belt in place. There we go. Carry on up a little bit. Need some belts. What are we making right now? We're making those things. Okay, we'll cancel. Cancel. Yep, to the point where we can make our conveyor belts. No electric miners. We can easily make a couple of them. We will remove this setup. Difficult to see what's going on with the trees. I could clear them. But let's try and keep them there if we can. Okay, so that's our copper output. A little bit further up. It will turn this way and meet the iron here. Start having a bus heading up this way. What is a bus, you say? A bus is simply a mass of conveyor belts which run through the middle of your factory. I remember watching people play Factorio before anyone came up with the idea of the bus, and it was really rather a mess. Okay. You. That. That. Get out the conveyor belt. Think if there's any more wood going to get in the way. Oh, it's actually down at this level, isn't it? Chopping through in the wrong place. Can. Down. Gonna end up in here. More needed. And there we go. Power poles. Run them up from here. A little bit of copper coming in because we don't need that much at the start of the game. To make sure that conveyor belts go far enough to cover these first ones. See if I can get my automatic stuff to do. Turn you off. Okay, so I think if I get some power here and coal, it should start working. No copper coming through at the moment, so something's gone wrong. Put you there. Take a look at what's happened to the copper. Stuck on trees. Probably some belts missing. Yeah. There we go. Make sure the conveyor belt is fully in place. Now we need a lot more belts in order to get the coal across. But luckily, if we come over here, there should be a nice pile of iron waiting for us again. Voila. Make lifters and some of them, and then a load of them. So, we need this to head on over here after it's gotten clear of up here a bit. What we can do is control copy, grab the conveyor belt, ghost of it down like this. Gonna be a number of iron things. I need to sort of move this up to about here. Plenty of room to run other belts and stuff. clear that. Okay. So a bus is going to run into the water if I go up there. If I'm holding down shift, then I can just put down a ghost mode. Let's leave a little gap of 2. Oh, that's actually the lineup on it. That's good. So these yellow underground belts can stretch across a gap of 4, so the bus is going to have lanes 4 wide and then a gap of 2. Could have a gap of 3. Spread things out a little bit more. 1. Except then I'll have to put an extra little belt in the place when I'm running resources from one side to the other. But the extra space might be nice later on. 2. 2. 2. Yeah, let's do that. We'll put iron on this side, copper on that side, and the middle can be for the later products, which we're going to have to end up with. Be like that. Grab all this. Turn... No, we don't want to turn that on because iron smelting is going to be the most important. Coal. To run our coal, don't we? Always a few short. Okay, so at this point I want to turn on my nanobots and see how much of this iron array we can actually get built. Just right up here and we'll let everything go. Possible I've got a few too many power poles in, like I could have spread them out a bit more, but power poles aren't that expensive, they're relatively cheap. Make some of them. For them, make all of them. We are short of the belts on the left and the right. Just like... okay, we're also short a ton of inserters. The copper coppering. Copper is starting to copper. Everything is swinging, everything is producing. Both sides. Okay. So we are electrically mining our coal. We are electrically loading and using the coal to smelt our stuff. Ah, we're out of actual nanobits. Wondering why nothing was auto building anymore. Let's cancel these into nanobits. Grab copper. The ghost of that down, so we'll grab it later. Once again, give me all of the things. More nanobots needed. We are very close to automating all this stuff. Things should speed up immensely. Once you've actually got sort of just boxes accumulating all the stuff which you regularly need, it becomes a lot easier. Switching back to making nanos. Go back to making transport belts. Cutters. Poles. start making a few iron chests rather than the wooden chests. Don't want those. Oh, oh, sorry about that. Something weird happening on my mouse. There we go. Yeah, the problem with this new program that I'm using to record is it captures the entire desktop. So if I switch away from the game for any reason, yeah, you get to see stuff. I have to sort of be careful. Make sure I'm not accidentally revealing my credit card numbers. Again, we will cancel the manufacture of those so we can go back to the actual belts. Switch this to just placeholders. So I think the most important thing is to just get this up there on the bus, so we can start our manufacturing process. Right, what do we want to automate? The first thing we want to automate is the construction of assembly machines, because with assembly machines we can then automate everything else. However, assembly machines require electronic circuits. Electronic circuits requires a wire, copper cable. I'm going to need a number of these machines. So I think I need to make like a little green circuit production area. Nothing massive. Let's look at our numbers here. In half a second we need 1 iron plate and 3 copper cables. And you get 2 copper cables for half a second of crafting time. So 2 machines making a copper cable need 1 of these. Take you 1.5 seconds. 1.5 seconds would make 6 copper cables, which is enough for 2 and a bit of these machines. Okay. Yeah. It is tricky to wrap your head around this math. I mean, I could just copy what I've seen other people doing, but I'm sort of trying to avoid doing that all the time. You know, I'm trying to think it through a bit for myself. I suppose the way to think about it is in half a second, you want 3 copper cables. If we want 3 copper cables in half a second, we need 1.5 machines. So if this thing is making green circuits, let's try and think this through a bit. Then you need 1.5 of these. So that would be like 1 dedicated cable maker for you. Then half of this one could go to another one of them. Then you would need another one of these as well. I'm not doing a proper layout here, I'm just trying to visualize. Right hand click, left hand click though. Yeah. Then if that was in the middle of these two, you need iron plates, and the wires, you just need copper. What sort of layout can we have? For that, add probably need to be a fast inserter, to be honest, which I've not invented yet. Because these inserters, the rotation speed is in like degrees per second now, but they only sort of like swing once a second, whereas fast inserters will go twice a second. And because we need from each of these wire machines 1.5 copper cable, it needs to be blue to go fast enough. Q. Wires. That's that. And I research faster swinging. Fast inserters. Basic electronics first. Go for them. Basic electronics gives us nothing. Just it gives us that, and then we get to do that. So let's actually throw that in our lab. Make sure that it's got enough copper and tin. Have a belt running along here of copper. And half a second you need copper plate, so you're going to need blue inputting copper and then blue outputting the copper. Then these things want to be able to grab one iron plate and then output as well. Now if you notice, the thing has half a second crafting time, and in that half second it needs to get an iron plate. So again, I think the yellow inserters are too slow. The red inserters I think go at the same speed. Oh no, the red inserters go at 432 degrees per second. Is that the same as the fast inserter? Nope, 864. So the reds are a little quicker, but I'm still going to be better off if I can use blues. But blues only have a range of 1, and I need to be able to output this stuff is doing. So what I think I'll do is I'll do this squiggly thing, which is the green circuits we're making going to like, what does it? Yes, it does. Go down there like that. Blue inserters for the output will go there and there. Iron will be in like this, ducking underground like that. I want this to, I want to be able to like copy and paste this. Things need to be long enough to go the full length of. Need power poles in our design. There, there. There should work. Be copper in here, iron in here, plates come out there. Copy this, hit it round. Bonk that down there. Make more nanobots. Pick a few. We need to change the direction this stuff is running. And this, and press R and rotate it. then the output get combined into a single belt. That's pretty good. One electronic circuit every half a second, assuming we had all the material to feed it. A yellow belt can take 15 items a second. So 8 of these machines might completely fill a yellow belt? That can't be right. Sure, I'm doing some level of maths. Get rid of... I want to copy. There we go. Pop this down. That might be a good amount of green circuits. But I keep pressing escape to try and clear the cursor, but it's Q. Q lets you pick something up and put down whatever's on your cursor. But, you know, when I'm in the middle of something like this, I keep going for the escape key. That's why that keeps flashing up. I do apologise if it's annoying you. Much I can do. Okay, so we're just waiting for our fast inserters. More assembly machines. Let's grab a load of materials. Right, so we're going to leave all 4 of those for copper. We might not need all four for copper, but just in case we do, copy that down. So the output from this is going to be a path here. We'll go underground. Ground again. This. Join the bus heading up there. And that will be our green circuits. Good, I think. So as is my usual habit when I do YouTube videos, when I'm not talking, I'm sort of speeding up the gameplay. Because, you know, if I stop and think or get distracted by something, I don't want there to be long periods of silence. So my habit is usually to speed it up by 3 times speed if it's just like a 10-20 seconds of silence, or faster if it's long. Now, tell me whether you find that more or less distracting than me being quiet for a bit. Because, you know, I mean, it would make the editing easier if I didn't have to bother doing that. But I do sometimes think that, you know, if I'm just laying out a matter track, or I'm thinking through a problem and I'm just sat here staring at the screen, not saying anything, not that much in the way of fun for you, is it? Make sure this thing keeps getting its iron and copper. 100. Oh, add. Now working on fast inserter tech, which takes 30. I could speed this up. I make another lab. Better. I'll pull down there. Yeah, a lab is 10 electronic circuits, so it takes quite a while to make. Go. So throw this lab down there. Once we've made an inserter. Because this thing was accumulating science packs, so I think a single machine can probably supply 2 things. That will double up our inventing speed.